Time to play the game. Time to play the game. It's all about the game and how you play it. All about control, and if you can take it, all about your debt. And if you can pay it, it's all about pain. And who's gonna make it? I am the game, you don't wanna play me. I am control, no way you can shake me. I am heavy debt, no way you can pay me. I am the pain, and I know you can't take me. Look over your shoulder, ready to run.
Week 9 is in the books for the 5th place, 6-2-12, 1-1 SIJHL Fort Francis Lakers. I'm your host, Jay Houslander of the Junior Hockey Network Hockey Show. We are here with Laker Coach Wayne Strachan. How are you today, Wayne?
I'm good, Jay. Thanks.
Can you talk a little bit about Week 9's outcome, especially last night's game in Thief River against the Norskies?
Well, a game where I thought we, and maybe started to turn the table after last weekend, and I thought we played two pretty decent hockey games, and through two periods last night, we had some things that were up and down, but put ourselves in a place going into the third that I felt, we could definitely win the hockey game if we continued to do what we were doing. And, then we come out in the third first shift and just some mistakes that have kind of hurt us all season come to haunt us again in the third. And maybe the two most glaring mistakes we made through the period count in favor of them scoring, and we never capitalized on the chances we got. And it wasn't like we're totally dominated in the period. It was back and forth, and then around the 8-9 minute mark left in the period, we had two of our vets go off with coincidental penalties, and then we get a 5-minute penalty that was very unnecessary, especially we kind of had a little momentum and we're putting a little press on them offensive wise, and to have to kill 3 minutes of that and then have our two vets who are important to the lineup pretty much sit those last 8 minutes because there was no whistles, hurt us. And it's just it's a point now where we have to realize things that were hurting us at the start of the year are still hurting us, and we need to make a commitment to trying to fix those, and it has to be an honest effort and by everyone's part, and including the coaching staff, to help the guys do that and obviously improve our hockey team.
Now, like say, week 9 was unkind to you guys. Like say, you have 14 points in the standings. You're sitting 6 points back of the 4th place English River Miners, and unfortunately, you're on a 3-game losing streak and 2 wins in the last 10 games. With only 48 days to the trade deadline, should the players be worried about their status in the roster?
You know what? I'm not going to call it worried. Obviously, an evaluation of some of them, we don't see that some of them progressing and like they should have, and obviously we have a good core guys that have progressed and kind of lead the way, and it's no secret, I guess, we are looking to strengthen ourselves. We have made some moves in the last few weeks to maybe open some eyes and have the guys realize that nothing is given at this level, and but I don't know if that reality is totally set in, and we need to upgrade on our back end, and we could could use a little more firepower up front. I believe when we do have our full roster dressed up front, we have 4 lines that can compete and definitely work hard and create offense. But so we are looking in areas to make the team better.
And like I say, in saying that, you added a Huntington Beach, California native, Ishmael Ralston, to the roster between the pipes, and he's played the last 4 games. And like we were talking last night, you guys call him Izzy. Can you talk a little bit about acquiring the 19-year-old goaltender?
Well, we just felt, through the time period where I think we had lost 5 or 6 in a row in some of the tight games. We were being out goaltended, and it was nothing against the guys we had here or whatnot, but we thought we needed to get down to 2 goalies, and we felt making a change to bring a new guy in and start a little bit fresh was what we needed. We weren't sure what we were going to do, and then Izzy kind of fell on the table to us. And then I guess I'm the kind of GM that when I make a decision, I go through with it, and so I followed that instinct. And obviously, Izzy's with us now and played the last 3 games. I've liked what we've seen. He's definitely given us a chance to be in all 3 games and have the opportunity to win, and that's what you need out of a goaltender. And he's made some big saves to keep the games close or tied in those situations. And again, that's what we were looking for. And we feel now that between him and Brett Atkins that we're kind of solid in that area, and we'll let these 2 guys give it a good run through the next week and a half and kind of see where we're at before the December 1st cut-down date.
And it gives the 2 of them to see battle for the number 1 playing spot, right?
For sure. And I realize he's played the last 3 games, but it's definitely not a indication on how Brett has played. He's got a 4-1 record, and his save percentage is over 9. So he's battled in the games he's played, and we just wanted to give Izzy the opportunity to kind of get comfortable and see what he could do. And we haven't made a decision on who's going to start tomorrow, but we definitely feel comfortable in the 2 guys that are here now.
And we always say goalies are a different breed, and now with adding new blood between the posts, it will also give Brett a little bit of a push to, like I say, for them to compete against each other, right? For
sure, that's what you want to see. You want 2 guys that are going to compete hard, and obviously in practice, it's a competitive battle to want to, I guess, earn that spot of playing on game night, and what we've seen so far is both goalies have definitely worked hard, and like I said, I'm not sure who's going to start tomorrow yet, but whatever one we can put in at this point, I think we feel comfortable, and the team feels comfortable in playing in front of them.
And like you say, you play tomorrow night, November 24th, like you say, in Thunder Bay against the North Stars. Like you say, with you guys, unfortunately, right now you're 1-0-3 against Thunder Bay with being outscored 13-5. You guys have lost 2 at home and 1 on the road. What needs to change heading into Thunder Bay tomorrow night?
Well, I guess the first thing would be
to get the win.
We got to score. We haven't scored in 2 games against obviously our former goalie Brandon Bodner, and he's kind of had our number. So I guess first and foremost, we want to get the first goal and obviously get the lead and momentum in the hockey game. Last Friday I thought we played a game where we were deserving to win if we could have buried a few opportunities, and as much as we can, they have an explosive offense that could strike at any time, and we have to play tight defensively, limit our glaring mistakes, and work hard to create offense. And the biggest thing is getting pucks to the net. Whomever's going to play for them, and obviously having bodies around the net. And when we do that, our success rate in scoring is much better, obviously, than when we play more of a perimeter game. And so we'll look to do those things, and obviously play to our strengths as much as we can to hopefully have success on the road here.
Now, like I say, next week, November 29th, the SIJHL has the Allstar Game in Eveleth, Minnesota. And like I say, with the Lakers, you have 8 players on the rosters, like say 4 Team Canada, 4 USA. What does that say about having 8 players selected out of 42 players for the Lakers roster?
Well, it's definitely a good honor, I guess, for our organization and how we look at our recruiting and whatnot. And for those 4 players to be recognized by the members of the league is obviously good for them, and says a lot for, I guess, what we try to do here to develop our players and help their development in reaching their goals. And the 8 guys that are going to represent us are, I think, we lost Connor Keith to injury, so he won't be with the team. But those guys are going to represent us well, and they're deserving of being there and having the opportunity to play in a game like this.
And with that now, like say with Connor out having 7 players, and like say you wearing the Canadian flag, being from Fort Francis. Now, do you root for one team or do you root for both because you got players on both teams?
Well, I think I'll be behind the bench with the Canadian team, so obviously pride will kind of be on the line in that aspect, and we'll be hoping team can prevail probably for the victory. But we'll be on the side kind of rooting for our American players as well to have a good game, and all 4 of them over there can help that team definitely have success against the Canadian team, and hopefully in the end, pride-wise, the Canadian team can come out on the right end.
and like say doing an interview with like say Commissioner Graham next week, but with the All-Star Game, the skills competitions and everything, it just helps these players even gain more exposure to scouts and everything else, right?
For sure, and as a league, I think we need to progress in that manner, and obviously bringing in the top players with in the SIJHL to play off in a game where it'd be interesting to see how it's received by the players, but the Canada-U.S. rivalry hopefully will come into play, and that's where the intensity will come from or boost them throughout the hockey game, and the more opportunity we can put our guys in front of schools and scouts to obviously progress their careers, whether it be major, junior, or school-wise, the better for our league, our teams, and obviously the players in it. So we'll look for a good showing, and hopefully there's a lot of guys there interested in seeing what we have to offer.
And it doesn't matter if it comes, again, we never touch politics, but if it comes to politics or hockey or sports at all, it's Canada, U.S., there's always a rivalry. And not just the Laker dressing room, but all the dressing rooms, no matter who wins, it's still going to give a little bit of bragging rights to the Americans compared to the Canadians, right?
For sure. it's just that competitive rivalry that the two countries have, and around Christmas time it even becomes bigger with the World Juniors, and really any time there's a Canada-U.S. matchup, women's hockey, Olympics, whatever it may be, there's always that little jawing in the dressing room that goes on, and definitely the winner has their chest a little more puffed out the next day and with pride, and the teasing even goes on more. So when you're a team, you hope that they come together, and we really haven't had a problem in that aspect of Canada-U.S. bonding with each other, and but it's a competitive edge in all hockey players, I think, and they understand what's on the line when Canada-U.S. play each other, and there is definitely a rivalry, but a good rivalry and a competitive rivalry, not a negative one. So I don't, it's not a negative or anything like that. It's just a fun atmosphere where it gives a chance for guys to have a little fun together.
Exactly. Well, Wayne, I can't thank you enough for being on the show today, and make sure next week you join myself and Wayne. We're going to be live on the November 30th from the All-Star Game, and hope everybody can tune in, and good luck tomorrow, and enjoy the All-Star Game.
Okay, thanks, Jade. I look forward to speaking with you next week.
Thank you.
Now